Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in the last few days, I have been getting increasingly more and more bullish on ADA. I truly just believe that ADA is that unicorn. It's that standout. It is that one crypto that can truly take this thing and really run with it. And I'm super excited to bring you guys our video today. What we're just going to be doing, we're going to be taking a look at some of the charts. We'll get an idea of where the price is going, where I think it may be going based off of certain reactions. And of course, we will go over all of that, and I will let you guys know what I have and will be doing with ADA. Now, for all of you new viewers out there, I will let you know that I do have a Patreon. Now, in this Patreon, you will get access to many things, including my trades, my portfolios, my technical analysis, research reports that we release on cryptos, updates and notes for all of these videos, early access to these videos, and much more. So go down to the link in the description. Go check it out and let me know what you think. Also, if you are looking to expand out into a new brokerage or start your own investment journey, I highly recommend using the referral link down below. It'll bring you over to Webull. Whenever you sign up and deposit $100, you will get 2 free stocks valued all the way up to $1,850. But with that being said, let's go ahead, let's jump into these charts here, as we have been seeing a lot going on. So we've been tracking this thing, and I've been making updates on it for quite some time now, over the last few days especially. So I'm just going to leave all of my patterns for the last few days, just so we can continuously to, go back and see what all this thing has done. Well, what we can see is we're starting to see a very familiar pattern form. It's a pattern that we've seen with ADA many times in the past, kind of like this triangular step stool, this ladder-ish step pattern here, right? So one thing that we did see, of course, is we did see this inverse head and shoulders get formed. I would say that this is a confirmed inverse head and shoulders, although there is a little bit more it could have done up until it was like 100% confirmed. I mean, we can pretty clearly see this shape here, which is typically a very, very bullish sign, right? Now, we also, of course, are starting to see the formulation of some type of triangular pattern, somewhat of a wedge at the moment, and I'm actually very excited to see this happen, okay? The reason I'm excited to see this happen is because we've seen this multiple times with Cardano. It is just how it moves, right? We start to see this thing work its way up, and of course, we're on the 2-hourly here on the ADA USD. We start to see this thing work its way up. We're looking at this 20 EMA here. We get some extension from it, as we can see here. Then we see either a little bit of a drop and then consolidation right back to it, and then our big way up, or we'll break through it, work our way back up, land on top of it, find some support, work our way up. And that's what I'm looking for again. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, the same exact pattern to continue. So as we can see here, we're seeing some extension. Of course, we're getting a little bit too far ahead of ourselves. Work a little bit of a pullback here, see a little consolidation, nice little drop that we saw last night that I will go over in a second. And then from there, we saw the breakthrough just as we did here, right here. We see our work our way back up here to the top of our wedge here. And then what we've seen in the past is a drop back down, the retesting of support, and then our breakout. And I'm expecting, or looking for at least, to see the same exact thing. Of course, as we did see, as soon as we saw this fall through the bottom is whenever we saw the 20 EMA get introduced into this wedge. Same exact story. Boom, fall out through the bottom, 20 EMA gets introduced into the wedge. So if we do see a fall here, I would be looking to see it find support off of that, or just off of the bottom of the wedge itself, as that's, just what we've seen in the past. Now, if that is the case, and if we do see this big breakout, I think that from there, this is going to be crucial. Okay, what's going to be crucial is going to be how we react to this 786 fib retracement. Okay, if we get to the point that we can see this breakthrough, okay, maybe even a retest would be nice, and we see this, I personally believe that we could be looking at a $2.05 to $2.10 ADA. I mean, that is my honest, true opinion. The reason I say that is because we are still looking at this extension off of, let me clear this up a bit. We're still looking at this extension off of our inverse head and shoulders here, right? So as we can, see here, we did have our inverse head and shoulders get formed. And if we take the length of this line here, apply that to the neckline, as we can see, which extends out over here, I still believe that we can still be seeing this rise, right? I truly do still believe that we can be seeing this rise here. Now, does that mean it's going to do this? No. I don't believe so. I think that we're going to see a very similar pattern continue to be formed. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see this uptrend continue in the same exact manner. We can see something along these lines. Let's take it just like this. This is what I'm looking for from ADA right now. Something very similar to this, right? We take it like this, boom, and then we start to work our way up. Again, it's very important we clear this here. Even if we find some consolidation, a bounce, and then upward momentum, that could be big, but this could be a very big movement, as we have seen here. I mean, if we do see a move of that size, we could be looking at a very big explosion of about 14-15% in the span of like only a few days, right? It could be within the same day. You never really know. So that's what I'm looking for to happen. The reason I'm looking for that to happen is because that's what it's done in the past. Could history not repeat itself and something different happen, of course. And then we'll adjust, we'll adapt, we evolve. You know what I mean? It's no big deal if we don't see this exact play happen, because we can always evolve, right? So what happens per se, let's go out, let's get our brush. What happens, and I'm gonna clear some of this up. What happens if we see a move to the other side, okay? What happens if we see a fall of this nature? Boom, we establish support here, see a retest, but then we're unable to do so and we fall. Well, this is what I'm looking for. First, I'm looking for support here. If we find support here, I'm not worried about this whatsoever. I am genuinely not concerned, but we do need to pay attention to where it goes from there. Now, if we see this thing fall out of here, I think we could be looking at another fall all the way here. Now, that's a shorting opportunity. If you have anything like Bybit or anything like that, you could short that for about a 6 to 7% fall there. And hey, who doesn't, we can play this thing both ways. But what we need to watch out from that point forward is where it goes from there. Because as we did just see this inverse head and shoulders get formed, if this is the case and we see a fall down, maybe a retest and a break fall, what are we looking at? Now we're looking at a head and shoulders, which is not bear. Not bullish, right? That would not be what we wanted to see, because at that point forward, we could be looking at another retest of somewhere all the way towards these lows. Okay, so we need to pay very, very close attention to how this thing moves, because we're getting crucial. It's crunch time, right? I've been saying it for the last few days, and it's important. It's very true. What we're seeing at the moment is very, very crucial for the next few months and the next few weeks for what we're going to see from ADA. So again, what I'm looking for, there's that resistance that we knew was coming. I mean, that's obviously going to happen as we are approaching this. That's no issue there. Again, I'm looking for this. Boom. I'm looking for that. It has been trading very, very clearly and cleanly within these levels. Now, I will actually show you guys a message that I sent to my Patreon last night. I said ADA is starting to retest the 61.8% fib retracement, and I think, keyword think, that we may see strong enough support here to maintain the price over the next 8 hours, and then see a retest of 78.6% resistance around the $1.80 mark. If this is true, this will be an easy 12% play. If it continues to fall below the 61.8, I'm very confident that we will find support at the 50%, which is around the $1.50. So what I was talking about was this fall, right? We saw this thing approaching that 618 as we were here. That is exactly when I sent the message as we wicked out, which is hilarious. I mean, I never try to predict the bottom, but we predicted it very well. That was about 8 hours ago, as I did say. Again, from there, we saw support get established, and then we pushed all the way back up to that 786, exactly how I said right here. And then from there, we did see that exact play that I was looking for. Boom. Some of them sold out, picked up that quick 10% gain, and then had no issue there. So it's been trading very obviously within these Fibonacci retracement levels. And so again, we need to pay attention to how it interacts here and how it interacts here, because it'll let us know where it may or may not be going in the future. Now, one thing we can take a look at quickly is if we do go ahead and we just take a quick look at what we are seeing on the ADABTC pair, we can see that we are seeing this same pattern formulate, right? I'm just looking at the 2 hours right now. We could always zoom out to the 4 hours, but it's a very similar story. 2 hours just give us a few more candles to see a little bit more in detail. But as we can see here, boom, we're seeing this resortment back to this 20 EMA, right? Every single time. Boom, boom, boom. Now what I'm looking for is to see this meet, right? We've been saying that we saw it here. Boom. If we go back out, we're looking for this minor pullback here into the extension. Wow, looking for that breakthrough. And it looks like everything is setting itself up to see that exact play. Okay, we're starting to see this consolidation, as we did see right here. That movement back to that 20 EMA, a bounce off of it into an upward extension there, in which we'll probably find some consolidation as well. That's what I'm looking for to see, because again, that's what it has been giving us, right? It just allows us, looking at the history, looking at what it has done in the past, allows us to have an idea of what we could see in the future. But again, it's not guaranteed. So keep an eye on it, monitor it. If we start to see a breakout in the opposite direction and it breaks this pattern, it's not the end of the world. Just pay attention to where it may or may not go and see, okay, if it falls, what's a good buying opportunity, right? Last night, we could have panicked in my Patreon and started to say, oh man, we're starting to break pattern. It looked like we were just going to see this breakout, but it's not the case. So now we're falling. No, we said, okay, well, historically, it's found support right around this level. As we can see, resistance, establishment of support, boom, resistance, falling, support. So we bought in, bam, went in, quick play, easy money, right? And so if, again, it starts to fall and we start to see this thing work, cool, where is it going? You know, we can even take a look at this in a more in-depth, and we can look at an opposite, you know, and the other side of the picture. Let's go out and then let's get our Fibonacci retracement going. We can take a look at it in this sense and say that, honestly, if we were to see a fall, that we could very well see a fall all the way and still be okay. We could see a fall all the way back down into this 618 at about the $1.34 and still be looking at a long-term uptrend here. You know what I mean? So it's not the end of the world. So just pay attention to it, pay close attention to it. And again, if we see this happen, we see that rise, if we see that breakout that we're looking for, I think a $2.05 to $2.10 ADA is very possible. If we see a fall through, I think that we'll probably see it hit somewhere around that $1.50 mark, in which I will buy more. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I've expected, to happen. I actually did buy some more, as I did say right here, and I'll probably buy some more if we do see a bit of a fall here in anticipation that we could see some type of 16-17% gain. So overall, things are looking great. We did see a very big inflow of $10 million, which represents investors actively choosing proof of stake coins based off of environmental considerations. Last week, institutional investors did go ahead and put the majority, let's word that different. Cardano had the most of the group of institutional investments. Okay, I don't want to say the majority because that wasn't true. As we do see, they did get $10 million of inflow from some of those big smart money players, and that's always a good sign, right? Especially with what we see going on right now with Elon and how he's advocating for cleaner mining or just cleaner cryptos in general, as they are a proof of stake cryptocurrency. It kind of does provide a solution to that, and it seems like some of the big money is starting to, find that to be attractive. And I also think that they understand the capabilities of where ADA is going in the future, right? We have to understand that what we're doing right now is all before this major, let's slide this over, major introduction, right? If we go back out to the daily, look what this thing has done before one of its most crucial components. Smart contracts are going to be absolutely revolutionary for ADA, and we have seen all of this that we've seen in the past without them. So imagine how much more intrinsic value this thing is going to have. Imagine how much more, of a justifiable increase in market cap it is going to be once we see the rollout of these smart contracts, which completely, again, revolutionizes the entire project itself. That's absolutely insane. Now, another, thing that is starting to come out right now with Cardano that I think is going to have a lot of great factors to it in the future is we're starting to see this narrative change. Okay, everyone has kind of always been, and we've seen it, even from the founder, we've seen it from many people, where it's like, oh, we're the Ethereum killer. We're going out. We're trying to hunt them down. We're going to kill them. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, one thing that we're starting to see is that Cardano's founder, especially, is that we're starting to see a switch in narrative where Cardano is its own entity. And I think that's very, very important, right? We don't have to beat Ethereum to be successful. Okay. And so there was a quote somewhere, and I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was so great. And it was like, you don't see the moon and the sun competing. They just wait for their turn to shine. And I think that's something that we're seeing a lot in the crypto market, is everyone is just consistently trying to outdo the other crypto projects without realizing that we're still laying the fundamentals on the crypto sphere itself. There will be multiple cryptos with over $1 trillion market cap, and I think Cardano will be one of them, right? If they continue to do what they're doing, I don't see that being out of the realm of possibilities whatsoever. So with that, as we have been seeing stuff like this, where he's talking about Ethereum 2.0 is the only Ethereum killer out there, kind of taking the heat off of Cardano for just being an Ethereum killer. And we are starting to see articles like Cardano has a different use as well as a different future from Bitcoin. It shows that people are starting to look at Cardano in its own way as its own entity, rather than trying to use it as a tool of comparison for other cryptos. And I think going forward, that will be very, very big for the price. And I think with all of that is another reason as to why we are seeing such a major inflow of investments from some of these different institutional investors. So with that being said, that is going to be about my update for today. That's all I got, and I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did find value in it, you can of course let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. If we do see any of these two big plays happen, as we did talk about earlier, I will let you guys know what moves I will be making, especially if you do want very fast access to my trades. Go down to the link in the description, check out the Patreon, and I will update you all very, very soon. But with that being said, you guys know the drill. I post on this channel 2 to 3 times every single day, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace.